I said already I circulated the email. So I just sent you another email that we are on board. Hopefully the next coming week we will do a podcast on that topic.
Okay.
Hello, Sasha.
Sasha, it looks cold there.
Yes.
It's freezing and send some of that hot weather from the north there.
Yes, absolutely.
I need to come to America. I'm going to stow away in the wheel of an airplane. That's what they do here in South Africa. For real.
Yes. The only place where you can wear jackets on June.
Yeah, exactly. Me, like, yes, it's freezing. Yeah, sorry, I was hijacking.
So, does anybody have the?
Where Sergio? I think I haven't seen him.
No, I haven't seen him. He's probably been working real hard.
Yeah. So, Tracy, do you have the doc?
I'm opening it right now.
Even in the email, the invite.
I know, I closed that tab and I gotta get that.
I don't know why it's taking so long to load at all, but it's sitting there thinking about it.
Yeah, it happened to me with Zoom too. It was just like took a while.
There we go. Okay, we are in the general meeting.
While you update that, we'll drop it in the chat. Okay, just kind of give a quick recap of some stuff that I know off the top of my head. So I got accepted for a talk. It's called All Things Open. It's going to be November 1st or 2nd. I know I'm presenting in person, and I'm not sure if they're doing a streaming as well. The details are still up in the air. But my talk got accepted around how we built out the community for Ortelius. Some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't work. So that's going to be happening in November. Tracy is going to Open Source Summit next week, and that one you have a talk there, right?
I have two talks. I'm on a panel, and then I have a talk, and I got accepted to DevOps World as well. And all of those are the panel. I'm not sure. I don't even know what the panel's on. I should
know, you just show up for panels
because it's Monday. But while I'm at Open SSF, I'll be talking about SBOMs, and then I believe that's the topic of my talk for DevOps World, and all of that is around Ortelius.
And then I'm doing a talk with Siddharth for NatWest, just like an internal meetup that they have, talking about SBOMs there. So that presentation I'll be able to reuse for other stuff as well, if we need to. And then Simon, you and I and Andrea are going to talk events here in a podcast coming up.
Absolutely. I know the other side of things, like I'm arranging a session on Kubernetes Community Days, Pakistan. So I just need a talk from you. You just send me the recording of that talk, any topic you want to address. I would like you to discuss something regarding the Ortelius. So then, then I will showcase that on the event.
Okay. All right. Well, just send me a Discord message when you need that by, so I don't forget.
Yes, absolutely. It's, by the way, it's on the last week of June. So would be great if you send me 1 week prior to the last week of June.
Okay. Yeah. If you just drop me a message and let me know what day you need it by, and I'll get it done for you. If I don't have a deadline date, I just keep pushing it off.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's kind of what's happening on the outreach front.
But wait,
For-
before I might have been a little late to the party. Simon, do we have another podcast coming up?
Absolutely, absolutely. I sent out the email last month before the CDCon start with Andreas Grabner, and the email is added you and Steve as well. So he sent me that the midweek of the June he's on the vacation. So it's now up to us. Like I even sent him a reminder today when we should do that. So previously tell me the date after the CDCon, like the last week that we done, like the 6th to the 13th week of June. But now he's in the vacation. We can do it after when he comes from vacation next week. So we do the CD events, panel discussion on the YouTube channel live stream, and plus recorded in the Buzzsprout.
Cool.
Also, when I was at Open CDCon, I did meet with Willem. Willem, I can't remember his last name. He's with the CEO of Directive. It's a CD events. It kind of competes with Captain. I think he would be interested in doing a podcast with you on CD events.
Yes, absolutely. That would be great. Can you give me a favor, like you add the email if you have emailed of that person?
I will.
Add me in. We will start the conversation forward.
And send me Willem's contact info when you send it to Simon, because I need to reach out to him too.
Yes, I think the Directive is a kind of the Knative. They use the Knative under the hood, and the kind of SaaS for the Knative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what they did was I've seen a couple of their presentations to the CD events, and because Knative has a lot of built-in events, something like 40 plus events, they took that and then they extended it to deal with another like 20 different events and plugins and things like that. So it's pretty well rounded from what I could tell looking at it.
I think we should go ahead and reach out to Stephen Chin and see if he's willing. I know he's super busy right now, but he might be willing to do something in September around Persia.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Okay.
And then does that wrap up kind of the event social media recording, Stacey, for you?
I posted for the next 6 months, everybody who did a presentation for our May 20th will have, I think there's 2 per month for each of you. So the calendar looks pretty busy, but you should see your social posting come out around that. If you see other people's, please share it. So start watching the Ortelius LinkedIn and Twitch channels. And we I think that we should have a Twitch deck team for Ortelius.
I mean Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter or Twitch.
Sorry,
two different things.
Twitter. Yes, I'm sorry. TweetDeck account and a team for us. Simon, can you look into putting together one? Because it's free, so we should be able to use it. And then, so all we have to do is connect it to our 2 accounts, and then anybody who wants to tweet out there can tweet and share tweets so that the Ortelius account looks a little more active, because I don't have the time to keep up on it.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely will look into it. Like I think that's where we are actually lacking at the moment. Like don't have so many tweets coming out every day. So I will definitely look at it. I try to make it available as soon as possible. Try to make it visible to everyone who wants to send out some tweets. So I will make sure that by the end of this week we have that account available.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nice thing with TweetDeck is you can queue up a bunch of stuff and pick the dates that you want to release. So you don't have to sit there and get in there every day. You can spend some time, get a bunch of stuff set up, ready to go. But the one thing we do need folks to kind of watch is we need to get a list of people that we want to start kind of watching and retweeting, because that gives us more. If we do likes and retweets, we get more credibility back to ourselves.
So here's my tweet deck for Deploy Hub. did I have one for, I wonder if I had set up one for Ortelius over, but so I can put as many people as I want to on my team. And now that I'm connected to Deploy Hub, if they post through TweetDeck, they can do it as well. So we just need to do something similar with Ortelius. And then I've already built out all of my who I watch. So I can go through and say, let's say I want to, let's see something I want to reach out to. But I got some press going on out there. Let's see. I don't know why Stephen Connolly's been very busy, it looks like. There's something from our friends at MuleSoft. So I can then just, I can like it, or I can change who I want to post it from. So I don't have to post it from Deploy Hub. I could post it from anybody I want. Oops. So if I wanted to share that or like it, I could do that. And that's kind of what I like about TweetDeck, is that you can manage multiple accounts. And so if we get a handful of us, 3 or 4 of us doing this, and all you have to do is play out it once or twice a week, it ends up populating a lot of stuff in our Twitter account, and we need that. So that would be that's the only other thing I wanted to touch base on. Hey, Sergio.
Oh,
Sergio, your
how are
hair's
you?
already growing out.
The new look of Sergio.
Yeah.
My goodness, your hair grows fast.
Hey, you're like, the second meeting that I hear the same thing. Well,
It's
I think
growing
it's
out
good.
really fast. Like, holy Toledo.
That's good. So a few months and I will have my hair back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be more sooner than that. So anyway, that's what we've got going. And I think that the other thing we need to talk about in general is summer's here. Maybe we want to cut back on the meetings for July and August. Last year, I think we took the entire month of August off, which was great for all of us. But I think that we could in July just cancel the general meeting, this meeting, and then just do one of outreach meeting. Anybody have any thoughts on that? And then then not have any meetings in August.
So we're really looking at missing 2 or 3 meetings?
Yeah, we would, we have
For-
don't we have 2 general meetings, and we have 2, we cut out 3. I think architecture has to stay involved because we've got too much going on.
Yeah.
But I think we could just do one outreach meeting in July, cancel this general meeting for July, and then continue the architecture meeting as scheduled. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I will be out like the end of July and the first week of August. So I'm kind of anything
that
like
works. That works for you.
yeah.
That works for me. I think we should, like you said, just keep the architecture going and slim back the other couple until beginning of September.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to cancel. We're going to cancel completely, or maybe we just do one, because if we do, yeah, I think we should cancel completely the general meeting, this meeting.
Yeah.
We'll have one in July and cancel it all together in August.
Yeah.
Okay, one general meeting in July.
And I think we should just do one outreach in July and cancel.
Okay, so one general
August.
meeting and one outreach meeting in July, and cancel. I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. I'm not doing it very
I know
well.
it doesn't work.
And cancel both for the month of August.
Yeah, maybe you can just put like a blackout if you don't want to like pick every meeting. maybe just say like from here to here, they are canceled. In a
Okay.
section of architecture, I don't know, something like maybe it's easier.
I was just say architecture remain on the same schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I will do that after we get off of here. I will cancel as we just described. And somehow what I just typed just got deleted. Oh, no, it didn't. Here it is. I put it in May 31st. Brilliant. Okay. All right, that is documented then. All right, on the architecture front, Steve, I will keep my mouth shut now.
Okay, you can type then.
I will.
So I did the project plan for the Ripple. It ended up being like 144 days worth of work. I slimmed it back. I was first at a year and a half of work. So I had to pull that back. And so that we sent the link over to the Ripple folks for them to review. Again, we're asking for the 75K. What ends up being is 144 days, and that would be one developer at like $65 an hour. Is kind of what the budget was turning out to be.
So it's 144 man hours. 144 day hours. Wait, 144 man days.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Not meaning one particular person, but it's
right.
Okay.
FTEs, full-time employee.
Okay.
So 144 FTEs at $65 an hour will get us right around the 75K mark that we're asking for. So hopefully that's the last documentation that they'll need from us for now. And the other thing we got going on in from the architecture side, we did get the Linux Foundation to give us a Kubernetes cluster. So the LFX is going to be paying for our Azure cluster. Last Thursday for the evening architecture meeting, my time, I worked with Brad and a few other folks to migrate from one subscription in Azure to the other subscription in Azure. It actually went pretty smoothly. Brad had a bunch of Terraform already in place. So once we got through some of the security permissions, which we had LFX IT support on, on the meeting, so we're able to get things moving along pretty quick. The one thing that we need to do is move the website and documentation over to the new subscription, and that's on my to-do list for this week to look at what we need to do there. So we have, and there's one other thing we have to do, which is the Azure front door managing DNS names and IP addresses. That's happening that we have to kind of configure. But that's that's in the process. It went much smoother than I thought with working with Azure, because it can be pretty weird. So that is a big plus. I'm trying to think what else we have going on. The only other thing, so what we stood up in the new cluster is Istio, Captain, Argo, Ortelius, and I think those are the main ones for now. And eventually we'll go ahead and stand up the documentation and the website over there. Then the other architecture thing we have going on is we just have to wrap up some Helm charts so we can kind of complete our GitOps process and get all the plumbing put together for GitOps at that level. So that's what's going on from the architecture side. And I don't think, if I missed anything, somebody holler. Alrighty. So that's the architecture update. Anything else, Tracy, you want us to cover? Sergio, you got anything? Sign, Sasha, Joseph, Uker?
No, but if anybody is cold, Sasha, if you're sitting there cold, did you know you don't want to go out? You want to work on something? From an architecture perspective, I still want us to look to see what it would take for us to bolt into Backstage. This kind of speaks to Sergio on one of the board meetings indicated that we really needed to focus on adoption, which I agree. One of the ways we could do that is to make it easy for people to adopt would be to bolt into something they've already registered their microservices. And Backstage is already it's a CNCF project. It's probably going to graduate. It's gotten a lot of traction. So I feel like that should be on our list of things to do, is to look what would just do the initial analysis of what it would take to call the Backstage APIs to pull the information out and add it to a registered component. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to have applications, because you still have to go say what applications are using what, but it would give us a nice start on building the repository.
I can shoot on that, because I was thinking what to try. My problem right now is when I like in Ortelius has been like over 1 year, I think. There's so many new stuff. So when I try to start again with Ortelius, I think there is a lot of things that I have to read about all the microservice and configuration that we're working right now. So for me, it's more easy to catch a task that is like short time task, for say some way. So I can from now, I think I'm going to be more useful. Like, hey, sir, can you like do a demo of this? Can you try this? Because maintaining myself like in the development of Ortelius has been a little hard, because it's like one per week, and I think it's not enough dedication to be updated. But this kind of I can be like the lab guy, like, I don't know, do all this pilot and demos and stuff like that. I can help with that.
That'd be
And
great.
then we'll start with Backstage.
Yeah, I think Backstage there is cookie cutter that we could do on our own, but the thing is Backstage, it's always good to integrate with your sister projects. I think that to be honest, if you look at the whole suite that we would have from the Linux Foundation's perspective, not from anybody else's, but if you had Backstage generating, you register your microservice to Backstage, it automatically creates your pipeline. We would bolt into the back of Backstage, and we would provide all of the versioning and all of the aggregation of the data and the tracking of the logical applications. And then I know we're looking at XRPL to create a blockchain and an immutable SBOM. But I'm guessing that if we do well with the XRPL folks, that the Linux Foundation might wake up and say, wait a minute, we should have Hyperledger doing that. So what we're doing is we're creating a very interesting new kind of DevOps pipeline, right? One that doesn't focus so much on how do you set up your Jenkins workflow templates, and more to how do you start tracking data. And I think that if we continue to be conscious of the products that we have to work with from the Linux Foundation and help build that solution out, we'll get even more recognition. And speaking, Sergio, to your adoption concern, if we have that Backstage integration, it would speed up the amount of data that we have in our central one. Because eventually what we want to do is get the Linux Foundation to have a version of Ortelius that everybody at the Linux Foundation who's writing open source code is going to be reporting up to us. so that we can then start reporting on the vulnerabilities and the SBOMs of all of that data coming across.
Okay, I will work on that. And one thing to mention, I'm working with more in the architecture side. I'm working putting more effort in the event side on the Red Hat. I'm speaking my work at Red Hat. Right now, I'm working with a demo based on events, and I'm trying to work with Socket and Infinite Span. Well, at the end, it's taking a lot of it's getting stronger. All the solution that is based on events, and they are proactively doing stuff. For example, we are having like a new solution that is on develop that is for the infrastructure and platform. That is just one thing that is hearing events, and after that he analyze and then apply like anything that is needed to do. So I'm right now doing like a little demo about using channels and WebSocket, because the advantage of that is you are using like real-time application. You're not like waiting something, you are not sending a process. It's just like a channel. You send some event, somebody catch them and do something over that. So I'm working on that, and I think it's going to be like just to know if somebody is like I just going to share the repo, and somebody is want to get involved or learn about that. It's connected with Knative. It's connected with um, with a little framework that today are more modern and are like a little upfront from microservice version that we are used to be. So maybe at least for someone can be like interesting to learn about it.
So I think you bring up an interesting point. And while Backstage has already gotten a lot of adoption because it generates those workflows, I think that the idea around managing workflows with cloud events will eventually replace the need for a tool like Backstage.
Yeah.
Because each project, I mean, you don't really have a lot of work to do. You just declare what tools you're using, and the cloud events kind of does it for you. Sergio, have you heard? We've talked about Directive before. You know about that tool, right?
I remember we are been talking, but I haven't been involved with.
I just put it in the chat. You check it out. You're gonna be what Will and his team has done already is pretty impressive. They've even built it around Open Policy Agent, so you can also define policies. We were just talking about it with Syme. I'm going to see if we can't do a podcast with him, with Will, the CEO. And Steve's going to make a recommendation to bring that tool into the CD Foundation as a open source, as one of their projects.
Right. Well, right now I'm like just doing some experimentation, but it's funny that a lot of things that are like really distributed in the open source space, like really fit well when you're like doing. I just pick like a chat project, but it's funny because I start, hey, I can use, for saying something, I can use Knative, yes, I can. I can use events, yes, I can. I can use Redis, yes, I can. So pretty much like all the ecosystem right today, I think is there, is really easy to integrate, but I think there is more people like put it new stuff, but it's not that much people that are putting together. That's, I think it's like my theory. So I'm trying to do that.
Great.
Well, I think I already sent my well, not apply. I request an approbation for being in the ArgoCon on Mountain View. So
oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me add that.
It's just about, but it's a budget matter thing. So,
okay.
Wish me luck. That is not so expensive to get approved.
What do they call that conference?
ArgoCon.
ArgoCon.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the Linux Foundation host that independent?
It's a Linux Foundation CNCF event.
Okay.
I put it in the chat. Here's the reference.
Perfect.
I tried to get in the QCon Detroit, but someone already picked that place on my team, so I get like in second place, and I just lost it. But at least I'm trying to go to this one.
Yes. So Sergio, I'm thinking you're going to the AlgoCon. Is it true?
I'm trying. I sent today my request, my budget request. So
And
I just
is that
need
all
it.
happening in Detroit?
No, this is a Mountain View. It's in California. It's on.
I think it's happening before the Detroit one, I believe.
It's on September. Yeah, it's
Yes.
Oh,
San
okay.
Francisco. Yeah.
Well, if
San
you're
Francisco.
there, we're going to come see you.
Yeah, I was. You always mention like Mountain View time, so I when I see that it's on Mountain View, hey, we should be close, right?
Yeah, no, we're close enough to come see you if you're there. Absolutely.
Cool. Wish me luck with that, and maybe we can go to dinner, something like that.
Looks like it's happening.
But I'm participating. I think there is not much. I don't know if it's the talks are open, but I couldn't put in place this year any GitHub project, something like that. So I just attending because I'm trying to get more information to build a new GitOps offer here in Latam. So that's like my mission: get a little more involved and try to figure out how to create more projects on Latam for that.
Cool. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. We'll come see you in September.
Yeah,
I'll be going to Orlando the week after, so I'm glad they don't, they're not at the same time.
I miss so much Orlando.
You do?
Yeah.
Did you live in Orlando?
No, I went for like 2 years ago to Disney and all the parks and stuff like that.
Oh.
And I do on the scale of Miami. After that, I drive to Orlando. It was like a marvel, like 2 weeks. That's really fun.
Well, maybe you ought to take some time and go down to Southern California and go to Disneyland.
Yeah, I want to go over there because I miss that part of Disney. It has like cars attraction and stuff like that. So my son really like it. But I'm going to go to Disney Paris.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
well, I was
I
raised
am.
not too far from Disneyland. I spent a lot of time at Disneyland. I went to like 3 different grad nights. In Southern California, Disneyland puts a grad night party for all the seniors. For like, wow. And they close the park from, I think it's 9 at night until 10 in the morning, and then all of the high school seniors get to descend upon.
That's smart, like having a park just for you.
Oh, it's a massive, crazy party. You go into there used to be there was a Monsanto ride that talked about atoms and stuff. And as soon as you got into the ride, it just smelled like pot. It was like, oh my God. Kids would jump out of the cars and sit there and get high and then jump into another car.
You can do that.
Hilarious. Well, anyway, Disneyland is a fun place. I hope we get to see you in California then in the fall.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We are out of
No
That's
problem.
all right.
A few minutes over, no big deal.
Okay.
All right. Well, with this, we will then, I'll figure out what the schedule looks like, but we probably won't have another one of these meetings until September. Or maybe we'll just have one in July. I think that's what we said. So
I think I'll leave one more, yeah.
One more in July, yeah. And then we'll have none in August, and then we'll get back to work in September.
Yep.
And in the meantime, Simon, we'll continue with the podcasts, and I'll get you connected with Willem.
Absolutely.
Okay, stay warm, Sasha.
I've got a lot of wood, yeah. I'm gonna burn a massive fire.
There you go.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.